Boys, I got something to tell you guys. Yeah, welcome back, everybody, to another Beyond Click and Cliff. This is a podcast of me talking about stuff other than Lego, and I take it where I share it with you guys today. Kind of like life experiences, telling y'all stories, and all that. Yeah. So it's going to be a little testy today. Have you ever done anything against your character? Like doing stupid stuff like speeding. Um, I don't even know if I want to tell you this story, but I'm going to. Um, like I said, I ain't very. There's some things in my life that I am not proud of, and this is one of them. Um, and I want to keep in mind that I'm not the same way now. The experience I'm getting ready to tell you, I did. I did learn my lesson. I do have a conscience. This is when I was young and dumb, and I was a pure idiot. And I admit it to you, I was an idiot back when I'm going to tell you this story. Um, well, I want to say I was in high school. I knew what was right and what up and wrong. Me and my friends, the ones I skipped school with, that I got in trouble with all the time, went to the party with, same group of friends. Heck, I don't even know if they were my friends. And looking back on it, but I'm going to tell you now. We skipped school one day. Imagine that, skipping school. Heck, we get in trouble. I'm just whatever. And we went to the mall. You know, figure we'll kill most of the day. That we none of us had no money to buy anything, so we just figured we'll just kill. Just look around, hang out at the mall. We of course we had our lunch money. We did went in the arcade and played some games, but that maybe what, an hour of our time. And you know what? When you get bored, you start being stupid. I think. Well, no difference. No difference than than that. We go. We were talking and we were going. No, we start stealing. Stupid of us. We made a game of it. Who could steal the most? And at the end of the day, who had the most money worth got the whole thing. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what I have. I'm not proud of it. I'm not. I'm not bragging. It was a totally wrong thing to do. Don't know why I chose to be a part of it. And I wasn't really a big part of it. I just won the game. We went to every store that had little knickknacks and see if we could get away. We were real stupid. We could have gotten bad trouble, right? First off. But I don't know how we didn't. I really don't know how we didn't get in trouble. I don't know how we didn't get caught. One of us stole a desk lamp up his sleeve. Ask me how that works. Little figurines. Just a whole bunch of different stuff. Whole bunch. And you know, pennies. There weren't very much stuff like keychains. They're taking and like ink pens. We did this all day, all flipping day. Like I said, I am not proud of this. This is a life history lesson that I'm sharing with you guys. But but we I made the stupid mistake and I went along with the crowd. Peer pressure, whatever. Didn't want to feel left out. So I played the game with him. I don't know what I forgot what I even took. But I only took one item, and this is the most expensive item that everybody else looted. At the end of the day, it was just a stupid uh, glass figurine of some sort. I put in my sleeve and walked out. Like, so we did that. Yeah, we did that. And that was even we didn't stop at the mall. We went to this comic book store uh, where they had figurines of comic characters. They took they took some of that stuff, like Dungeons and Dragons little figurines back in the day. Yeah, it was not good. It was not good. So we done that. Got back in my car. We went down the road, found a park. We sat there. We added up the total, see who won the game. Well, I think I beat everybody up by $1 on one thing. So I got all of it. That was the game. That was the winnings. I went home. I left stuff in my car because my parents were like, "Where'd you get all that stuff?" So, I'd get in trouble. Uh, and this was like a Tuesday, and I tell you what, every day it bugged the living crap out of me. I was so ashamed. I was like, "Man, I can't believe I did this." I feel like in my gut it was, I know it was wrong, and my conscience really, really started to eat at me. Well, I felt so bad, so bad. I got in my car Saturday morning. I'm like, I can't do this. So I drove all the way back to the mall. And I said, I even told him, I mean, I didn't tell my mom and dad. I may not be coming home. I may be in jail. Of course, they thought I was joking, but I wasn't joking. Because I was about to go take the stuff back and apologize. I figured I might, one or two may be okay, take pity on me or something. But there's going to be that one guy who's going to press charges to the fullest, and I'd be in jail for shoplifting. And I deserved it. I did. I did the crime. I did the crime. Got to pay the time, right? So I had myself convinced. Well, if I go to jail, I deserve it. So I wasn't going to fight or complain. Just go through the motions, do what I had to do to get out of this, and be done. Put it behind me. Well, I went to the first store and asked for the manager. The manager come out. It was a woman. And I sat down and handed her the thing. Still had the receipt on it. Nothing wrong with it. And I told her the story, and I apologized. I said, you know, and here's the one that first one. No, let me. No, she said it was okay. And she goes, I'm proud that you came back in and came clean, and it came true that which I think you've been punished enough with your conscience for a week. That I think you learned your lesson and just don't come back in the store. And I said, deal. That was first store. I mean, I had to do this story like 10 stores. I mean, there's a bunch of stores that we went in and did this. So I feel a little bit better. At least I made that right as I could. I I even volunteered my service. I said, look, hey, dude, you don't have to pay me, but I'll come up here every weekend and clean your store. I mean, pay off. You know, I felt that bad. I volunteered. I said, no pay involved because you're letting me off on this one, and she said, no, it's okay. Don't do it again. So I went to the next store, did the same thing, asked for the manager to give them back their property, and I said, look, and told and I told him the story too. I did a stupid thing, and store manager he was a little bit more aggravated, which I know I'm gonna take my lumps, and he sat there for a long time, and he just said, "Look, you brought it back, but we're going to call the cops." I said, "I understand, but can I do one thing first?" And you can follow me around the whole darn store. And I told him I wanted to take all this stuff back and apologize to everybody before I go to jail. I know there's gonna be count after count after count. I've probably been, oh my lands, I could have been in jail for a long time. And he said, yeah. So he didn't follow me. He just said, come back by here. Every store. I said, I done the same thing over and over and over. Finally, I got to the last one, and I was tired. Worrying on what's going to happen next. The last one, I guess being the store manager was his second job. His first job was a preacher. He sat down and told me, he said, well, he gave me a life. Those guys, if you get out of this, did you learn your lesson? I said, yeah, this is not fun. The conscience, I don't know how people can live with it. My dad always told me, he goes, he'd rather hang out with a murderer and a murderer than a liar and a thief because you can't trust them. And he kind of told me that. People, I went to work on my trust and all that stuff. I said, yeah, I know. I know. Well, after I got talked to him, I kept my word. I went back to that one guy and told him, well, I'm done. Went told everybody. So if you want to call the police, I'll be right out the door on that bench and let them come. He sat there and he goes, what all the other store managers say? Well, I said they weren't happy with me by no means, but at least now I said I feel better. What do you mean you feel better? Well, my conscience. I said I was dealing with this for a whole week, and it was eating me up. I wasn't sleeping. Stomach was hurting. Didn't feel like eating or doing anything. I just felt that bad. The reason why I came back today to right my wrong, and I feel that I did it. I went through to every store, apologized to them, told them what I done, like I did you, and I know I have to pay the consequences of my actions. And he said, well, you weren't the only one. And I said, no. And I didn't give out no names. I wasn't telling everybody who else, but I just did what the crime that I did. That I was a part of the group. I feel bad for my part in it. And the guy sat there and goes, well, you weren't the only one, but you're the only one who came and apologized and turned it back in. I said, yeah. I said, well, they don't even know I'm doing this. He sat there and he goes, well, he says, I'm not going to call the cops, but you are going to come in here and keep your end of the deal every Saturday, clean the store, vacuum, dust, whatever needed to be done, free of charge. And I said, yes, sir. And I did. I went in there every Saturday. Mom goes, why are you going to the mall so much? I didn't tell my mom and dad that. My dad, I should have, and that's probably the only regret second regret. Well, I guess I did tell them after a long time after, and they're like, what? Yeah, that's when I was dumb. I was young. So we did that. I, I did that, I don't know, for a month. He had me come up there. Finally, he said, well, I think you learned your lesson. I said, yes, I did. I Won't do that ever again. Bad mistakes. And he said right then and there, okay. I mean, that's that's it. So I tell you what, ever since that day, that time in my life, I've never done that ever again. I did not. If I didn't have the money for it, I just didn't get it. I didn't want to steal. I didn't want to do none of that. And so from there on out, I didn't do none of that. Matter of fact, after that, I kind of changed who my friends were. That's the time in life where I finally opened up my eyes and say, you know what, maybe these friends ain't good, good people to hang around me. They influenced me in doing stupid choices, and I had to make a change. I did it. I made new friends. I didn't really hanging out with them, but I didn't hang out with them as much as I used to. And I'm like, you know, I told them, well, guys, what we're doing is wrong. Can't do this. It was just horrible. I still feel bad about it today that I made that stupid choice of doing that. So if you get anything from this lesson, this video, don't steal. It doesn't do you no bit of good. Get you in trouble. Put you in jail. I was fortunate that that didn't happen to me. I'm very lucky that I didn't go to jail. I no, and I know everybody out there goes, "Click and Cliff, really?" Yeah, I wasn't always good. I was stupid. Made some stupid choices that I learned from. I didn't realize I had a conscience until I did that, and that that changed me. So uh, after that, I stayed to my values, and I didn't. I apologized. I done everything my power to change that wrong to a right, and and I learned a lesson that day. If it's not yours, leave it alone. Don't take it. There ain't no sense in it. If you want it, buy one. And that's how I go on today, living my life. I don't take anything that I don't have to pay for or deserve or whatever. I don't just go. My conscience really changed. When I did it, I didn't think, it ain't gonna bother me. They're not gonna see. They're not gonna recognize me. But my conscience, man, it ate at me, and I just had to do something. I couldn't just sit there anymore. But I felt better when I got home that day. I wasn't in jail. Like I said, I made my right and my wrong. You know, so guys, my only suggestion is, man, think before you do. Think about what your actions are, because your actions may come back and haunt you like it did me. And I, you know, guys. Anyway, this is not like I said. These podcasts may be funny sometimes, or this one was a serious one that But I wanted to share with y'all. Let you know there's people out there that can make a dumb mistake or a stupid choice. They can learn from it and be better. I know I did. I did. It changed me, changed my point of view on things. Made me think about action I was going to do before I do it, and that's how I've been the rest of my life. Um, I want to be a positive mark on the community, not a negative. in my not legal community, but the community that I was in at that time, thinking I wanted to be positive part of the community, not negative, not be known as a thief, a liar, a crook, somebody, I didn't want to be known as that. So I changed, and I think to the better. Guys, that's going to be it for today's Beyond Click and Cliff. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you like the things that you see. Remember, always be good, be true to yourself and others, be respectful, pay it forward, and all that other stuff. And until next time, bye bye.